starts with S. You didn't do it like this last year. Oh, no. That's high level. Same deal?
Yeah. All right. Yeah, so we'll get started. Welcome, everybody. We'll start with a statement from Coach Schilling, followed by questions for the student athletes. After the questions for the student athletes, we'll dismiss them and have more questions for Coach. And go ahead, Coach.
Well, these guys just did a tremendous job. This was about them, about their heart, about their desire. We knew what a tremendous team Oregon State is. They are so potent offensively. They scored, but then we just came back and scored. So we were matching them. I mean, it was like a horse game almost, one basket right after another. But, man, we play hard. We played hard the whole game. We had adversity hit us just like we have all year. And these guys didn't blink. They didn't flinch. They kept playing. They kept competing. And they stayed together no matter what was thrown at them. I just can't tell you how proud I am of them and how happy I am for these guys.
Okay, questions for the student athletes? And if you have a question, raise your hand. We have people that will be bringing the mics around. So,
Stefan, congratulations. I think this is your fourth 30-point game this year. Where does this rank among them? I'm presuming maybe pretty high.
I mean, yes. First of all, I always like to give credit to our opponents. I mean, I think Oregon State had a great year. I give credit for them for playing hard today, and I think they have a great talent. And just to answer to your question, I think it's all about confidence. I mean, after last year not getting a chance, it just means a lot to me to get a chance at Pepperdine and just show my talents. And you just said fourth 30-point game. I think that just results of coaches and coaching staff and players believe in me.
And because of the setting and what this win does for you guys, I take it this one is elevated above the others, better than the others?
I mean, yeah, of course. Always, every win is a great win, but conference tournament win is always a special one, especially picking up last in the preseason pool. It means a lot to us.
Mo, can you talk about how Stefan's played not only all season but especially tonight?
Yeah, he's played. The whole season he's been great. You know what I'm saying? Me and Steph go back and forth all the time. We want what's best for each other. Sometimes he get on me. Sometimes I get on him. Dating back to July and June. So we've been going at it for the whole year. But to bring it together in a conference tournament, no arguments. We understand each other now 100%. And just to see him go out, get 30, and believe in me to get him the ball, and I believe in him to make any shot he take, no matter if it's 2 people, 3 people. I just believe in Steph. So I just feel like it was great tonight. I love watching Steph play.
Just want to correct him, 34.
As part of the deal in beating Oregon State tonight, defensively, you guys held Ratai to no made shots, 1 single point, and only 4 total shots from the field. What did you guys do to make life difficult on him consistently throughout tonight?
We got to give credit to our bigs. Dovidas, Danilo, Bubakar, Zoe, Alex, every if I miss somebody, let me know. But, they all did a great job fighting in the paint, trapping the post, and I mean, just that's all credit to them.
Definitely.
Mo, a lot steadier game for you. You were a lot more, didn't necessarily need to take all the shots tonight.
Right.
How'd you read and react to everything that Oregon State was throwing at you?
Coach just told me just breathe, relax. First, just see what they're in defensively, and then make the right reads from there. So he always tell me, like, if you're a point guard, always see the floor before anything. So he just been helping me through the year with that game managing.
Mo, how much of a relief was it to make those 2 free throws with 14 seconds left after the 2 previous trips to the line?
It was a huge relief because, like, when I miss free throws, I feel like it's crazy. Like, how can I miss a free throw? Like, so just to make those 2 free throws, that just goes to show, like, I'm not worried about the last 2 or the last 3. I'm worried about the next play.
After last night where it seemed like you could not miss anything, were you stunned by not making those 2?
Absolutely, but that's basketball. Got to move on.
But you got the runs that mattered, right?
Absolutely.
Thank God we got Bubakar who made all 4 free throws in the end.
That's
Absolutely, absolutely. He saved me.
How you doing, Mo? Sam Canales, Santa
What's
Clara
going
Student Radio. Excited that we get to watch you guys play tomorrow. Really looking forward to calling your game, probably more than any of the ones I've done this year.
Thank you.
And I was at the Gonzaga upset in Spokane for us. First one, you just really have great court vision and obviously highly intelligent. I think testament to that is the way you were passing today and also some of your responses to my questions yesterday I was really impressed by. How does that give you confidence going into a game to make the right decision and then execute on those plays as well?
It gives me confidence because I just believe in my teammates. Like, even if I make the pass and I turn the ball over, they don't say, yo, that's a bad pass. They don't say, yo, it's not there. They just say, next play. So, because that's the same thing I tell them. So they believe in me as much as I believe in them. If I feel like I can make a pass and it could get there, I'm going to do it, whether I turn the ball over or not. I trust in my teammates so much. They help me so much. They score the ball so much for me. So as long as they believe in me, I'm going to believe in them.
Kind of in that same vein, Jackson Olvera, you can tell me if I'm saying that wrong,
Yeah.
had his, obviously, a double tech today on that play. I was really impressed by the way you picked him up after that yesterday. How much of a testament is that to, like, your team's closeness and the way that you guys pick each other up?
Oh, that's very important because Jackson's a freshman, and I always go back. I always tell everybody, like, I've been a freshman before. I've been there where nobody's with me, or like I'm battling something by myself and nobody's there. So I just always pride myself on being there for freshmen because I know it's not easy. It's 7 months. Sometimes you don't play games. Sometimes you go so hard in the gym, you get to a game, you don't play. So just keeping Jackson alive, keep letting him know, like, yo, you gonna get a shot. You gonna get a shot. So I just.
And then last one, I went back last night and checked out some of your previous interviews you've done with a couple people. You mentioned your underdog mentality and your toughness. Just where do you think that comes from? I don't know if you attribute it to where you come from at all. And then what kind of advantage do you feel it gives you over some of these guys you're playing against?
Yeah, that comes from just growing up in New York City, in the Bronx. Like, since maybe I was 4 years old, my dad put a basketball in my hand. You know, I was never really in the gym. I was in the park, so if I get fouled hard, like, he's not telling me, like, yo, like, we going home, you got fouled. He's telling me, yo, you going to either play or sit down. Like, you can't cry. And I was always the smallest, so just growing up in parks, it's 100 parks everywhere in New York City. You should know because you're from New York City.
I know.
So it's parks everywhere. So the advantage it gives me is, like, it don't matter if somebody's big. It don't matter. Like, just go at them. Like, make them feel you.
Yeah, really looking forward to watching you tomorrow.
Thank
And you play with that style, so it's awesome to see.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
thanks.
Any other questions for the student athletes?
Stefan, I believe Pepperdine's won 2 games in this event for the first time since 2019. Are you guys starting to believe that you can keep playing for a while?
We never stop believing.
Absolutely.
I don't know, you ever stop believing?
I said we're not going home.
I phrased that wrong. Are you believing that?
There we go.
Okay. Yeah, last question for the student athletes.
Mo, back to you. I mean, Sam alluded a little bit to your poise on the floor, making the right decisions with the basketball. And then I noticed, in media timeouts, going over to the bench, you're always right there in the thick of it, whether it's firing up your guys, picking up a teammate if they're in a bad moment. Can you talk a little bit about, how you're able to maintain that composure, especially, with Oregon State going on an 8-0 run there down the stretch late in the second half? How are you able to kind of both yourself and rally your teammates to kind of, settle down and close it out?
Yeah, about that, I always try to, like, help my teammates because in the media timeout, some might be really, really tired. Some might just don't have nothing to say. But if I'm talking to them, that's going to give them the energy, like, okay, Mo with me. So I'm going to go get with Mo. So as long as they hear me, they hear my voice, they hear I'm encouraging them, as long as they're going to be there for me.
Okay. Thanks, Mo and
Thanks.
Stefan.
Great job.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, it says, what turnover? You're trying to imitate me?
See you guys.
Okay, go ahead.
Ed, Stefan mentioned how he didn't feel like really had an opportunity at San Francisco last year. When you got him, did you have any idea that he could be the player he's been for you?
Well, my assistant, Scott Rougeau, he's been everywhere. He's been an assistant at Kentucky with Tubby Smith. He's been at Hawaii. He's been all over the place, and he's recruited Serbia for many years, as well as many other countries. So he remembered him when he was young, and seeing him back when he was on national teams and things like that. So he knew what he could do. And, Scott's one of my dearest friends, but also a guy I respect like crazy as a coach and an evaluator. And so because he knew what he could do, Steph is a legend back in Serbia. He's like the guy, like kids look up to him. I mean, right now, every kid in Serbia, I think, may want to come to Pepperdine because of Steph, not because of me, because of Steph. And, but Scott knew him, and he knew his talent, and he knew his ability back when he was young and a phenom as a youngster. So because of that, we kind of had some inside information on what he was capable of.
And how long did it take you to figure out that he was pretty good?
Well, as soon as we saw him on campus, one, it's just his confidence and his maturity. Here's a guy that came in, and he because of the way things work at Pepperdine, he had to give up many credits to come. He had the passion to just say, give me a chance. He was betting on himself, and so he's had to take absolute full loads from all the summer sessions through the fall session and now. I mean, you talk about taking a monster academic load. He just gave away 30 or 40 credits, almost a year of school, so that he could do it. That's how much he's passionate about the game. You got a guy that wants it that bad, that has skills, that can shoot it. Man, you gotta believe in that kid.
Just to be clear, those credits weren't accepted at Pepperdine?
Yeah, because you can only come in, you can only come in with 62 or 64 credits, and he came in with he had 80 or 90, so he had to give up a lot. But you know what? He's going to class. He's in 8 o'clocks every day. He's all that. But you know, it's because he's got great passion and love for the game. And when you have a guy that has that kind of passion, man, you got to love coaching a kid like that.
Ed, you kind of hinted at it a little bit on the studio show after yesterday's win, but I don't really mean to put this type of responsibility on you guys, but you hinted at what the city of Malibu has gone through in recent years. Is there a sense of pride with this Pepperdine basketball team saying, we want to play for the city of Malibu, we want the people in the community to know that you can be proud of this team and take your mind off things for 2+ hours and let us know that we're right with you guys and you can see it out on the court?
Absolutely. I mean, and part of it too is we've been through so much adversity, and adversity is just kind of like the norm for us. So like saying, hey, okay, you got to play back-to-back games. And, oh, by the way, you're playing against one of the most potent offensive teams. They're top 50 in offensive efficiency. You have a guy go down. We got a flagrant 2. They're making an 8-0 run. Adversity, that's what Malibu's been through. That's what this team has been through all year. And so, man, we're happy that if we can bring anything to Malibu, man, praise God. We're all about that.
Coach, I think you've played Santa Clara just the one time.
Well,
They
yes.
beat you. Tell me what you think you need to do to turn that around tomorrow.
Well, we actually, it was our first game of conference play, and you know, I've known Herb Sindek. He was a guy I looked up to at the 5-star camp many years ago, and he's a tremendous coach, a tremendous man, and you know, getting a chance to play against him is always kind of something special for me, just because of how long I've known him and how much I respect him. And they're a tremendous team. They got such great speed. They've got guards. They play an exciting brand of basketball. And so we know our hands are full, but our hands were full tonight too. So we're just going to go in, as much as we worry about Santa Clara, we're just going to try to make sure Pepperdine gets the best version of Pepperdine basketball that we can put out there. And you know, whether it's against Portland, whether it's against Oregon State or Santa Clara, we're just going to try to be the best we can be. Well, hopefully they'll get some rest. They'll do, you know, these guys are, it was kind of funny during the game. I call a full timeout kind of early in the second half, and the referee's kind of like, and I've known him since I was a head coach at Wright State University back before most of you guys were born. But anyway, he said, can I just ask you something? I'm just kind of a basketball fan. Why'd you take a timeout? And I said, because our guys are exhausted. We needed a break, try to get a second wind, and they did. You know, so we just try to manage our timeouts a little bit, try to get breaks when we can. If guys really need it, Mo needed one, get it, and we try to listen to them. And it's not just about me trying to read everything. We communicate.
You lose an hour with the daylight savings time.
Oh. Is that right? That's right. Hey, why not? Why not? That's right. I was, you know, I lived in Phoenix the last 4 years. I still have to do that. We didn't in Phoenix. So okay. Well, thank you guys.
We have one more question for Coach. Last question.
Last one real quick. For Santa Clara, they're a really fast-paced team. They scored 90+ 11 times this season. Then the big thing with them, obviously, they shoot the 3-ball really well. 21 times they've scored 10+. You guys scored 10 threes today. How do you look at defending Santa Clara from beyond the arc, especially down the stretch where it feels like every game we've done, they've scored 10+ in conference play almost?
Well, to be honest, I haven't looked a bit at Santa Clara. You know, like I said, we played them in our first game. We haven't played them, whereas Oregon State and Portland, we played them recently. So we got a lot of catching up to do. I kind of watched Santa Clara kind of more as a fan because of Herb. And so, you know, we've got to really get back and we got to dig in and try and figure out what to do. If you got any ideas, I'm all ears. So.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
All right, we have Coach Wayne Tinkle, student athletes Parsifala and DeMarco Minor. We'll start with a statement from Coach Tinkle about the game, and then we'll have questions for the student athletes. After the questions for the student athletes, we will dismiss them and have questions for Coach.
Got to give a lot of credit to Pepperdine, boy. The game last night, to find that grit to come out and play as well as they did today. Really, hats off. Want to say that and say it sincerely. They deserve a lot of credit. Disappointed that we didn't play with the desperation that we needed to. That's what we talked about in the locker room. And we've been a little bit banged up all week long. We've been banging the drums, talking about energy, enthusiasm, play with desperation. It's the postseason. We know what the postseason's about, and it just didn't transfer to enough of us up and down the squad. We showed great battle. We had a lot of opportunities. They made a few more shots and got a few more stops is what it came down to.
Okay, questions for the student athletes. Yeah, start here.
DeMarco, it seemed like during late in the second half, you were just trying to do anything you could to get your team going. Did it feel like you were jumping as high as you could get, rebounds, everything? It just felt like you were inspiring everything out there and trying to get things going.
Oh man, like I always tell you all season, it's nothing but Jesus shining through me. I just want to thank our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for protecting us. I know we lost, but He bigger than the loss. So, we walked out the court on our own will, and I'm just thankful that I could be able to just showcase the skills that He's given me, and I just go out there and try to give what I can.
Parsa, what happened on that flagrant foul? You were on the ground for a little bit. I mean, did you even see that coming?
I mean, yeah, I kind of saw that coming, but it's basketball. I get it. It was a hard foul, and I'm not upset about it. It is what it is. He just kind of hurt my neck and head, and I need a second to stay down, make sure I'm good to go. But
DeMarco, that seemed like that might have been a catalyst to get you guys going. I think you went on an 8-0 run after that. Were you guys, I guess, mad at all from that, or?
I mean, bro, I gotta tell you all the time, bro. I mean, on a journey with God, bro, you're gonna have to face adversity, bro. Like He said, He knew you since you was in your womb. So Barca getting grabbed like that was gonna happen. It was just about how we responded to it. So, I mean, we responded, but it wasn't enough today.
DeMarco, your coach said he didn't think that the whole group played with enough urgency or, for today, given a tournament setting. What was your sense of that?
There ain't no excuses. Like I said, I mean, when you on a journey with Jesus, you're gonna have ain't no testimony without a test. So, I mean, we was gonna lose. We was gonna lose yesterday, and 2 weeks before. We was gonna lose today. So you just gotta respond. That's life. Things not gonna go your way. You gotta respond the right way. That's what make you a man. Everything not gonna go how you plan.
Any other questions for the student athletes? Okay, thanks, guys.
Thanks,
And then we'll have questions for you, Coach. Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Good job, guys.
Okay, go ahead.
Wayne, it felt like for maybe the first 12 to 15 minutes of the second half, just things didn't seem in sync, or just kind of stuck in the mud a little bit. Did you sense that?
Certainly, we had the first media to try to right that a little bit. We got a little selfish, and we brain locked out of our first play of the half, and I think everybody felt the urgency, but thought they put it on themselves. Everybody thought they had the mismatch, and we stopped running offense. And having watched us all year, we've struggled in those moments. So we tried to correct it in the first media. We called a timeout, obviously, with 12-something, and it just didn't resonate quick enough. But we got great kids, and down the stretch here with not having a full complement for practice, guys like Polo's played a ton of minutes. I'm inspired by his effort, through all that he's been through. We just kind of, I don't want to say, we just got off page. And when we had a little frustration when we couldn't score, then we lost the urgency to defend. And they made us pay each and every time. And then when it got to ultimate desperation time, under 5-6 minutes, that's when guys responded. And we needed that out of the gate, and we needed it 1 through 16. And, Mike obviously wasn't 100%. Yesterday was the only day this week he's practiced. And we kept waiting for a spark from somebody to where maybe we could get him a little bit more rest and put in a little bit more live body. But, I thought Mike fought hard, especially those last 10 minutes defensively. Just when you have your first team all-league guy not at 100%, and then nobody else trying to, picking up the slack, it made it tough. And then they hit a lot of tough shots that were kind of death by a thousand cuts a little bit, and we just came up a little short.
About 2/3 of the way through the season, it seemed like you guys were playing pretty well, and then things started either flattening out or the schedule got a lot tougher. Did you feel like maybe this team peaked a little too
No,
early?
I don't think so. I think when you look at it, we played 4 out of 5 games against a team that had a whole week to prepare. And I've not seen anybody else in the league have that. And, some media types don't think that's a big deal. It's a big deal. You think about football teams after a bye week. They're fresh. They're more prepared. And then finishing with obviously a couple of the toughest teams, San Francisco and at St. Mary's, it's tough. And it's tough when you've got injuries and you don't have your normal complement for practice so guys can sub in and out and stay fresh. All that being said, as we're building a championship type team, you've got to be tough enough to rise up through all that. And I've had teams in the past that have. And as we're building this team and the guys that we're moving forward with, they'll have to learn from all of that and be better for it, as we move forward next year. We gave in. I think we looked for some excuses, and we just lost a little bit of that sharpness because of some of those circumstances.
You might have some possibilities here with NIT or this college crown. Are you interested in playing in
For
that?
sure. Heck yeah. I think this team deserves it. I think it would be great recognition for the season that they've had. Let's remember, it's the first time we've won 20 games in the regular season since 89-90. We've done a lot of good things. I know this is tough, but we've done a lot of good things, and that would be a really good springboard, I think, for this team that we move forward with.
All right, last question for Coach right here.
Wayne, obviously not the result you wanted tonight, but another 20-win season, nothing to scoff at it with the possible postseason on the horizon. How do you emphasize, hey, this isn't the result we wanted, but not necessarily make it more than it is?
Yeah, I think it's key. And we were very matter of fact in the locker room with the guys. We admitted where our faults were over the course of the season tonight, that we need to continue to build and become galvanized and more connected, and how the little things are important, for sure. But you look at what we've been through, from COVID to the portal, where we made some mistakes in one year, to lack of NIL for a while, to the conference falling apart, and we've been steadily taking steps in the right direction. This year was a big one, and I know next year will be even a bigger step. Thanks.
Okay, thanks,
All right,
Coach.
go Beavs.